I remember sitting at WeWork at 2 a.m. staring at 5 different tools that were supposed to help us scale. CRM tabs open, Slack blowing up, sales was pinging me because the lead they were chasing wasn't even in our ICP. It hit me. This wasn't a sales problem. This was a systems problem. At the time, we were trying to scale outbound for one of our first clients. Everything looked fine on paper. Strong offer, smart team, lots of activity. But beneath the surface was chaos. Leads were falling through the cracks. Outreach was inconsistent. Our GTM motion wasn't a system. It was a series of hacks held together by duct tape. That's when I made the choice to stop scaling through brute force. I leaned into what I know best. Engineering clean, adaptive systems. We built the GTM from the ground up. Cleaned the CRM, defined the ICP dynamically, enriched leads automatically, and orchestrated everything through signal-driven workflows. The results didn't just improve, they multiplied. That moment shaped how I built RevSync today, because I've seen firsthand what happens when friction slows you down. And I know exactly how powerful it is when every part of your GTM system flows together. Hey, I'm Bob from RevSync. We help B2B companies fix broken outbound by building AI-powered systems that enrich CRM data, define dynamic ICPs, and launch personalized campaigns that actually convert. Every founder wants to scale, but most are held back by the invisible hand of friction. That friction lives inside your go-to-market system in the disconnects and delays, the handoffs that drop leads and erode momentum. It starts small. A lead comes in, but the CRM is missing fields. Sales gets the lead, but the ICP is unclear. Marketing sends MQLs, but there's no feedback loop to know which ones actually close. Soon, you're not scaling, you're spinning. Every part of your GTM motion becomes a siloed hustle, not a synchronized engine. And that's the real reason your pipeline flatlines. Most companies blame the team, but the issue isn't people, it's process. You can have a player in every seat, but if your system doesn't work, your results won't scale. We call this the friction trap. It's the slow leak in your go-to-market system that kills growth silently. The bigger you get, the more costly it becomes. Now picture this. A new lead fills out a demo request form. Instead of someone manually entering that data into your CRM, the system auto-enriches it in real time. Industry, headcount, tech stack, buying signals, all pulled from vetted sources. Based on that, the lead is scored instantly using a model trained on your past closed and won deals, then routed to the right AE without anyone lifting a finger. Meanwhile, the outbound sequence kicks off. Not some generic follow-up, but hyper-personalized email built using recent company news and past engagement data. If they reply, your AI assistant triggers the message, qualifies the lead based on your criteria, and books a meeting into the AE's calendar, synced with context and CRM tracking. Now multiply that across hundreds of leads every week. No spreadsheets, no task reminders, no Slack messages asking who owns this account or did we follow up yet. Everything flows. Marketing knows what converts because the feedback loop is built in. Sales knows who to prioritize because the scoring is dynamic. Leadership gets dashboards that actually reflect what's happening in the funnel without tens of hours of manual cleanup. Now that's a frictionless GTM system. It's not a stack of disconnected tools. It's an intelligent orchestrated workflow that runs while a team sleeps. And when your system runs like that, your team gets to spend their time when it counts, building trust, closing deals, and scaling with intention. The first step we do with clients who struggle with the same thing involves mapping the entire customer journey. Most teams build for the front end cold outreach, ads, and lead forms. But what happens after the click, after the demo? That's where the growth either compounds or collapses. Because scaling isn't just about getting more leads, it's about moving every lead efficiently from first touch to closed deal without bottlenecks. That means your CRM has to be more than a database. It has to be a decision engine, not just capturing data, but enriching it in real time, scoring leads based on dynamic ICPs, and routing intelligently. Your ICP can't be static either. It has to evolve based on win-loss patterns, engagement behavior, and real-time filmographic shifts. Otherwise, your targeting is stuck in the past. Also, if this video is sounding a lot like your current sales process, you can't miss out on my weekly tools that I release to help you automate your SOPs, leveraging AI to double down on your pipeline and honestly, really clean up your bloated CRM. I left the link in the description. It's free to join and stay on. Anyways, after ICPs, it now comes to outbound. If reps are still scraping LinkedIn and writing manual emails, you're leaking efficiency daily. Every minute they spend researching is a minute they're not closing. That's where automation comes in, but not the spray and pray kind. We're talking about signal-based, intent-driven sequences that feel personalized because they are. What we do at RevSync for our clients, we engineer GTM systems to do exactly that. Not just automate tasks, but to Orchestrate touchpoints across cold email, LinkedIn, paid retargeting, and CRM sync. Every touchpoint builds on the last. We bake intelligence into the system using tools like Clay. We enrich every contact with actionable insights like news events, hiring signals, recent tech adoption. These aren't just names in a list, they're living, breathing leads with context. Then we layer on AI smart responders that triage inboxes, qualify leads, and book meetings, not to replace humans, but to elevate them. So reps are only stepping in when it matters. Suddenly, GTM stops feeling like chaos. It becomes choreography. Every motion connected, every role empowered. That's the shift from static to adaptive, from friction to flow. And when your system flows, so does your growth. Think about how this currently compares to how your team is operating. What are you currently doing in alignment with what we spoke about? What are the holes and what are the massive gaps? Let me paint the picture of before and after. Before, teams stuck in Slack threads trying to figure out who owns the lead, duplicates clogging your CRM, cold emails going out with outdated messaging. After, leads auto-enrich, scored, routed, messaging tuned to the persona in real time. Handoffs that feel invisible because the system handles everything. That's not fantasy. That's how we build every week, not just for startups, but scaling B2B teams who've outgrown their patchwork GTM. The biggest pain point we see, lack of visibility. You don't know what's working because your CRM lives in silos. Your CRM says one thing, marketing dashboard says another, your gut says a third. That's a recipe for reactive growth. But when your system is clean, enriched, and connected, you stop guessing. You start optimizing. You need to remove the friction, streamline the data, refine, iterate ICPs consistently. You're automating sequences that adapt to your buyer's context. And the result, a pipeline that grows predictably. That's the power of flow. It compounds. Every new rep onboarded instantly plugs into the system. That works. No more reinventing the wheel, no more gut-driven guesses. And most importantly, you stop relying on hustle because hustle doesn't scale. Systems do. The old playbook says add more leads, add more reps, push harder, but that's not engineering. That's force. And force breaks under scale. The new model, align your systems, enrich your data, orchestrate your motion, scale becomes a byproduct, not a battle. So if you feel stuck, if your GTM engine feels more like a Frankenstein stack than a Ferrari, know this. The solution isn't in more effort, it's in more elegance. If you want to know exactly how I'd fix your current engine, let's have a casual chat. I'll tell your team exactly where they are and where they should be. I left the link to book a call with me in the description. If you're still not ready, no sweat. I release weekly free tools that help exactly with refining your GTM engine, sales pipeline, and more. Not to mention, I give out tons of info on AI trends and processes leading companies are using in the industry today, so you can stay ahead of competition. That link is below. From friction to flow isn't a slogan, it's a shift. And once you experience it, you'll never tolerate chaos again.